Hi, welcome back to Mom Cooks and Gardens. This morning we're filming a short presentation for the Pinelands Preservation Alliance and Rutgers University to get some assistance in designing a rain garden to help manage water on our property and keep it from rainwater runoff and protect our waterways.
From nutrients.
Yeah, from nutrients. Okay. So this morning we're showing you the property and what our issues are. We have a very long, skinny, narrow alley here on the side of our south where we're faced with runoff from the neighboring property. They don't have any gutters to speak of. And they also have a small parking lot up at the top of this hill behind that fence. So during large storm events, we have a significant amount of water cascade down these hills, these slopes, which pond here in our yard, creating, a significant amount of water waste that ends up running forward and out to the street. So we're hoping to create a rain garden to capture some of that water, hold it, and allow it to seep back in and keep those nutrients in the ground instead of becoming waste in our streams and rivers. All right, so you can see here in the yard, we've already tried to participate in some of that capture of that rainwater that comes off the house by installing rain barrels on the property. We have 4 around the house, 1 on our outbuilding garage, and another 3 barrels at the top of the hill we're hoping to bring online sometime this year. But during significant events, the rain barrels are just a drop in the bucket, literally. And the water coming down these slopes is causing erosion here in the yard. There's also a discharge pipe from the neighboring yard that is buried up there by those trees. And it creates a river that comes down this side of the hill, eroding this stump, blowing out this wall, and this immense volume of water just kind of pulls against our foundation and ends up getting pumped out of the basement in the form of a sump pump to join the wastewater. And we'd like to keep that from happening so that we can return it to the ground and protect our waterways. All right, so in the process of watching the videos, we have come to the conclusion that perhaps we can't follow all the recommendations with keeping the rain garden 10 feet from the house since our strip is so narrow, and this is where we need assistance. We have a high clay content in our soil, and in this area here being so narrow, we're thinking that maybe the best solution is a bioswale that captures the water and funnels it forward, or at least helps it move forward into this larger area where we feel like a traditional rain garden might be most successful. We are open to the idea of creating the entire thing into a rain garden since it is such a narrow property, but this is where we need help. How big should it be? Do we butt up against the beds that are already existing? Is that too close to the house? And what should we plant in there to help absorb the water? So here in the front of the house, we have another downspout that directs most of our stormwater during significant events out towards the street. So we feel like this would be a secondary opportunity to create a rain garden here that could capture the water coming off the front of the house and just sort of create the rain garden in this whole area. But again, we'd be open to converting the entire front yard into a rain garden if that's what's required to handle all of that runoff. So a third opportunity to capture water would be here on the north side of the house. Now the only issue here is that a lot of the utilities come in this area, so we would have to be cognizant of what's here and how deep it is in the ground. But a lot of the water coming off the north side and this enclosed sun porch enters the ground here and then runs down the driveway. So if we can capture that and keep that from happening, there's a lot more opportunity to, you know, preserve. Now, lastly, here at the back of the property, we were inundated with a lot of invasive foliage like trumpet vine, wisteria, and all kinds of other plant materials. So we did clear the hill, and that created an issue with runoff. So we had to stabilize the hill. Part of that effort has been to create this berm with flowers and plants to absorb some of that water, but we still are seeing a lot of water runoff from these slopes that cascade down the driveway. So here there's a natural depression, and we were thinking that, again, there is a possibility that we could put a narrow with a sloping out rain garden to help absorb that water flow and keep it from running down the driveway and out into the storm drains. Being that we live in a historic district and a business district, we're hoping to entice Rutgers University and the Pinelands Preservation Alliance into helping us do this project right. We'd like to be an example to everyone who passes by how to do a rain garden and help participate in our water resources protection.
Explain what we're actually doing here.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe.